Today I'm sharing about hypnotic rapid transformational healing from Marissa Peer. When we say hypnotic, I actually studied hypnosis in college and then worked for a clinical hypnotherapist as a research assistant. So it really has a lot to do with the core values, the beliefs, how to get in there and set sort of programming in a way that could go in very deep, very open, without the guard up, without contradiction. So transformation is not learning. When we shift it, it's a shift in beliefs and worldview. It's being changed by the learning. Subconscious, superconscious, feeling, meaning-making mind is in the present now tense, like a laser in terms of its direction. Reprogramming it runs us. If we don't run it, it has the power of creation. It's an internal problem. We can't have an external solution. So we can dialogue in our mind in a way that achieves a good result or good results by tapping into its network of intelligence. The rules of the mind apply universally. So when we have but statements or speaking about what we don't want, it creates conflict. Better, I love this, or I like that. There's nowhere I'd rather be. This is what I want. Rather, because the mind can't hold the conflicting beliefs. Like, I want this, but not like that. Like, anyway, familiar is often what feels safe. So we had tribes, kids wanting the same bedtime story. There was walled cities. We can make negative familiar by having we can make the negative familiar unfamiliar and positive unfamiliar familiar. So people who reject praise are making something that is a positive unfamiliar into something familiar when they learn how to take praise. Or when a negative familiar, like keeping on replacing everything with criticism, we can make it unfamiliar, where it doesn't feel like it's right. Remember, safe. So shift towards how I am versus what I'm doing is like how to be in flow, how to live in purpose, how to not feel like one in a billion without a reason. So the mind doesn't know or care that we're lying to it. We can think ourselves sick or healthy, fat or thin. Our body wouldn't dare reject anything we choose to put into it. Is a belief, or my metabolic rate can handle a deviation energy now and again. It's like our beliefs that our metabolism will be fine if we overeat once in a while or eat something not so healthy, or my body wouldn't reject what I'm giving it. Like, this is a way to help someone who's feeling like they can't digest. So really, it's a habit of thought, a fixed belief that starts in childhood, because the child mind is so sensitive, and the parents reinforce whether they call the child, you're a loner, you're shy, you're aggressive, you're angry, you're disobedient. But when we say things like, darling, you've got a great personality, everyone will like you, look how much I like you, everyone will like you like I like you. And this becomes an installation of a self-fulfilling prophecy. The person starts to believe this, that's the voice in their head. And there's something called the Pygmalion effect, which is thoughts and beliefs from a blueprint that we're wired to meet all of our life. It's like the source code almost, close enough. The beliefs we inherited, for example, I was writing about this, is that being myself is bad, or I should match expectations of others. I'm greedy, there's not enough to go around, whether it's time, love, attention, or money, and that I'm difficult to love. But we have to remember, every thought has a physical or emotional reaction, bad to bad, good to good. And I shouldn't use, even when we use words like it's terrifying, it's a disaster, it's insane, it's a torture, it's a nightmare, it's hell, it's killing me, I'm dying under. These are all chas v'shalom. We say it's a violation of the wholeness to speak like this. In other words, we could say things like, I'm engaging, I have an amazing life, I have phenomenal coping skills, I'm making heaven on earth, this is a dream come true. And when we have new beliefs like I'm lovable, precious, acceptable, I have more than enough, I'm attracting abundance, I am enough, my feelings are valid, this is what creates our mindset, our relationships, our wealth, our health. I'm attractive, radiant, engaging, magnetic, gorgeous, because we can't control the bad effects or the good effects, but we can affect them by choosing our thoughts and co-creating our reality by literally installing new beliefs. This is what the hypnosis idea is. And something like, I can meet all my needs. I can be successful in having a completely new perspective on what I can accept and receive enough that I do attract abundance. I can have what I need in all areas. And then there's like sometimes what we call hypnosis regression. This is where we go back to areas that block our abundance. And we feel our feelings and we go in and we know the state. So I had 3 instances we tried. Blockage number 1, I was going into a shortage consciousness. The image I had was laying in my bed at night at 2 o'clock, and I don't remember this, but my mother screamed, "No, there isn't enough." And I was so afraid. I cried, and this will never be me again because there's enough. There's no reason for me to worry anymore because there'll always be enough. And the feelings I had was heart pounding, my eyes were twitching, and I was grimacing. And then there was a blockage 2 that I'm unlovable and untouchable. I was laying on the floor of my parents' room on the floor of the rug with a blanket. I might have been around 6, maybe 5 or 6, with a blanket. My sisters were in bed with my father, and they were saying, "Shayna's bad. Shayna can't be in the bed with us." And my mother was in her bed, and I felt so unlovable. And I cried here too. This will never be me again because I'm lovable. I'm not a child. There's no reason for me to avoid intimacy because I'm lovable and I deserve affection. And what I felt was my neck and head bent, where I was doing like half a crunch involuntarily. And then the 3rd blockage was hopelessness, powerlessness, a hunger. I was locked in the bathroom screaming, "I'm hungry," banging on the door to be let out. My mother was talking to me through the door, taunting me. I cried too. This will never happen again because I eat when I'm hungry and I'm an adult and I don't use food as a punishment or reward. And this is where my upper back was arching and by the neck, and my hands went under my butt like to protect me. So these are some examples of hypnosis installation of new beliefs, and also of deleting the regressing and deleting the old paradigm beliefs. Thank you. Be well. God willing, see you tomorrow.